Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is linear equations in two variables. This is chapter number 4 for class 9th mathematics. Okay. Now talking about linear equation in one variable. Okay. We have already studied linear equation in one variable in class 8th. So there we understood the meaning of linear equation and one variable. Okay. Now if I give you an example, suppose that is 2x plus 5. This 2x plus 5, can I say this linear? Yes, because variable is having a power 1. When highest power of the variable is 1, then we can say this linear. Okay. Now can I say this 2x plus 5 linear equation? No. We cannot say this equation because we cannot see any equal to sign here, or we have not related or equated this thing to any other expression or number. So what we can say this is not linear equation, but this is a linear polynomial, okay. When you equate this 2x plus 5 to 0 suppose, or you can equate this to 3x, or you can equate this to 3, any polynomial, any number, if you equate this to anything, then this will become what? Equation. Okay, so as it is linear, so now this becomes linear equation. Now we can call this linear equation. But here we have linear equation in two variables. Okay, but here we have one only. So we'll just increase the variable, that is 2x. Suppose next variable I am taking y. So 2x plus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. This becomes linear equation in two variable. Now one more example let us take. If I write 2xy plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. Can I say this a linear equation in two variable? As we can see, the power is 1 and we have two variables, but still we cannot say this linear equation in two variable. Okay, because x, y are coming together. If you see the degree of this term, it will not be 1. So we cannot say this linear. So x and y, that is both the variables, should not come together in one term. Okay, so this is not a linear equation in two variables. Okay, I hope you understood. So just combining all these conditions, we'll write the general form. The general form of linear equation in two variables. That will be ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. This is the general form of linear equation in two variables, where a, b and c are real numbers. They are real numbers, means they can have the value 2, 1 by 3, 0.5 and bar over it, root 2. They can have any value. Okay, so we can say them as a real number. So a, b, c are real numbers. X and y are obviously variable. A, b and c can take any values, but a and b cannot take 0 as a value. Okay, a and b should not be equal to 0, because if a becomes 0, if you put a as 0 in this equation, it will become by plus c is equal to 0. If you take b as 0 in this equation, it will be ax plus c is equal to 0. If you take a is equal to 0, it will be this equation. If you take b is equal to 0, it will be this equation. And we can see that both the equations are linear, but they are not in two variables. Okay, here we have only y as the variable, and here we have x as the variable. Okay, so it will become linear equation in one variable. That's why we cannot take the value of a and b as 0. Okay, a, b and c can take any values, but a and b will not take 0 as the value. Okay, now c can be 0. There's no problem if c is 0. If c is 0 in this equation, it will become ax plus by plus, sorry, c will be 0. It will be ax plus by is equal to 0. Okay, so here we have linear equation and in two variables. Okay, so c can be 0. I hope you understood the concept, that is general form, and which our values can be 0. Okay, relating to all these conditions, we can write the definition of linear equation in two variable. We can define this as any equation that can be put in the form ax plus by plus c, that is the general form, is equal to 0, where a, b and c are real numbers and a and b should not be equal to 0. So this is the definition of linear equation in two variables. Okay, let us move further. Let us start with exercise 4.1. Okay, question number 1 says cost of notebook is twice the cost of pen. Question number 1 is the cost of notebook is twice the cost of pen. You need to write this statement as linear equation in two variables. We need to convert this statement in linear equation in two variables. Okay. So here we can see we have two objects. One is notebook and one is pen. So we can assume two variables as one as the cost of notebook and one as the cost of pen. So first let us assume, let cost of notebook be rupees X, and the next cost of pen be rupees Y. Okay, now according to question it says the cost of notebook, that is X, is twice the cost of pen. Twice means 2 times cost of pen. Cost of pen is what? Y. Okay, so this represents this situation in linear equation in two variable. We can write this in general form also, that is 2y will be shifted to left hand side, that will be x minus 2y is equal to 0. So this is in the standard form, or you can say general form. So this equation represents this statement in linear equation in two variables. Okay, we can verify the situation also. If you read this, cost of notebook is twice the cost of pen. If you say pen is of 10 rupees, then cost of notebook is twice of it. Then notebook will be of 2 times this cost, that is 20 rupees. Cost of notebook will be 20 rupees then. Okay, you can say this is 20 rupees. If we satisfy this thing here, then let us try it is happening or not. So we have considered X as notebook price and Y as pen price. Okay, just put the values here. So X is what? 20 minus 2 times Y, that is cost of pen. So it is 10 is equal to 0. So that will be 20 minus 20 is equal to 0, and we have 0 is equal to 0. So this proves LHS is equal to RHS. This means that this situation we have expressed in correct form in linear equation in two variables. Okay, let's move to second question. Question number 2 is express the following linear equations. These are the linear equations given. So there are total 8 parts. I am taking 6 only because after this you can solve the other 2 parts. The question is express the following linear equation in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. We need to represent all the equations in this form, that is general form of linear equation in two variable, and you need to indicate the value of a, b and c. Okay, let's try this first one. So here we can see that all the terms are on the left hand side. So we can shift this 9.35 here. Okay, we have a bar over this 5. So this will be 2x plus 3y minus 9.35 and a bar over it, that is equal to 0. So we have represented this linear equation in this form, that is general form. Okay, now we will take the value of a, b and c. So a is the coefficient of x. So with x we have 2. So value of a will be 2. B is the coefficient of y. So with y we have the value 3. So value of b will be 3. And talking about c, c is a constant term. So we have value of c as minus 9.35 and a bar over it. Okay, don't forget the minus sign. Okay, now taking the second question is already represented in the general form. Okay, everything is on the left hand side. X is the first term, y is the second, and constant is the third term. Okay, if you compare value of a here, you can take as x, is this 1. Okay, if nothing is there, we can represent it as 1. So value of a is 1, value of b is what? Written with y. Okay, so we have minus 1 by 5. So minus 1 by 5 will be the value of b. Talking about c, so c will be, and value of c will be minus 10, which is a constant term. Okay, talking about this third one, we have to shift this 6 this side. So this will be minus 2x plus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. This is the general form. So value of A will be equal to -2, that is written with x. Value of B will be equal to 3, that is written with y, that is the coefficient of y. And C, that is the constant term, that is -6. So like this we will represent. Coming back to this question number 4th, this 4th is we need to shift this 3y this side. Okay, so this will be x minus 3y is equal to 0. We don't have any constant term here. Okay, so we can write this as x minus 3y plus 0 is equal to 0. If nothing is there, we can add 0. So compare this equation and this equation, you will get the value of A as 1. As nothing is written as the coefficient of x, so we can write 1 there. Okay, value of B will be -3, the coefficient of y, that is -3. And value of C will be equal to 0 as we don't have any constant term. So value of C will become 0. Here also we'll take this 5y minus 5y to LHS. This will be 2x plus 5y plus 0 is equal to 0. Okay, so here also if you compare this equation with this, value of A will be the coefficient of x, that is 2. Value of B will be the coefficient of y, that is 5. And value of C constant term, that will be 0 from here. Okay, now let us see the 6th part, that is 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So we don't have any y term here. Okay, this term is missing here. So what we can do, 3x plus, we can take B as 0. So we can represent this 0 into y plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, we don't have any y term, so we can take the coefficient as 0. 0 into y will be 0 only. Okay, similarly if you don't have any x term, so you can take the value of A as 0. Okay, now if you compare this equation with this equation, you will get the value of A as 3, that is the coefficient of x. Value of B as 0, that is the coefficient of y, because y term was not mentioned here. Okay, and value of C will be 2 here. Okay, this will be the required solution for this question. Okay, now you can try the 6th, 7th part and 8th part. If you face any problem, you can ask me or you can comment down below. Thank you.